I'll forget to local. Do this on it. I think it's mostly when like I stream with other people, like the Sky stream, Deltarune. I just forget sometimes to set it. What am I doing? I mean, I've been playing a bunch of Gravitron. Not a bunch. When I've been bored and not watching a video. This IL practice things, which in Gravitron spin. Even if I only got there like twice on a run, like last time I streamed this, I think that this is still going to be the one where when I get to it, I'm more likely to die. Like some of the other levels, they are hard, but it's like I at least have so many attempts in those areas. This is the thing that I just haven't seen as much. I know some people like the glitchless runners, like obviously even some, you know, other routes, you know, utilize the Gravitron with back, depending on the route. And this is just an area of the game I just not. I mean, this is the most I've ever really played the Gravitron. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna get one more Deathless on this, and then I'll do some attack. If I really need to practice a single level, I can do it. I think that like the 35 to 30 can be a little annoying, but like the transition, like right here from the 35 pattern to the 30 pattern, and then 30 to 20 is just rough. That's, I think, the single hardest part of this. And then it can be a little rough transitioning from the 25 to the 20 section. And then it's just I want to be as far left as possible when it starts the 10 section into the 5 section, so I don't get sniped by one coming from right from the 5 section. That's kind of the strategy I have. It's mostly just some of these transitions, like between patterns, that's the hardest part. Like this part, like right here, can be a little annoying because it's fast and it's not like sequential, like positioning. Fuck! I had that. That was error. That was error. Some of these I feel like that was bullshit or I wasn't set up right. That one was just bad mistake rather than like, okay, I kind of got fucked by the path. Act accordingly. That one was a mistake. What am I doing? God. That's bad. Bad. What are we doing? See, it's like stuff like that. I don't know if that's like my error not reacting properly or if it's just a pattern is truly and utterly fucked, right? And the problem is that I'm going to have nerves, and then it's going to be from this into the tower, which should be fine. I've not practiced the tower. I shouldn't need to practice the tower. Especially, like, not going for the trinkets in the tower should make it... I don't know. The first trinket's, like, easy. The second trinket is a little more mildly difficult, but, like... not awful. And then the rest of it's just take it slow and fucked. Good transition. I'm on the left here, so I can back to... And that's a deathless. Fuck am I? I guess I'm going lab. I meant to go to space station. Fuck it. Like, my ranking for, like, difficult... Oh, it's just about to go up to the trinket. I was like, wait a second. I was just about to go up to the trinket. Actually go the right direction this time. No. What's up, Octa? A V, that V, that V. How are you doing today? I should probably do, like, a less difficult strat there. I probably should. Hanging in there. Yeah. I was really tired today. Fuck me. I got really high last night. And so, like, I definitely slept in, chillaxing today. Got some bass practice in, though, and, practicing this here. This past work week was stressful. Just work has been lately. I mean, it's been a very busy July. No, we're not doing a week. You're not doing it. People told me that that's like a 2 that out there. But I did also practice this some offline as well, especially the Gravitron. Gravitron is up as balls and like just practice. I'm starting to formulate what I think is gonna be my schedule when I'm done with this game and when I'm done with Expedition 33. I don't think I'm gonna leap straight into Tales of Vesperia. I might do like a 1 or 2 smaller games in both of the slots, both the stream slots that's not Deltarune. And like, me and Sky are working on Deltarune, and we've already talked about that, like, want to get to off when we're done with the Deltarune Chapter 5 stuff. But I'm thinking for now, like, the 2 next games I'm gonna put up on the docket are gonna be, woo, 200. Holy cow, Octa. It takes dedication. Thank you so much. How you doing, Wayward? Hope you're having a good Saturday. Time to relax. Nice. Are you gonna Subnauticate at some point tonight? I keep on saying I should probably do like a your strat there. Nice. Don't be watched. Maybe I can actually give you the metal raid instead of you just doing the meme that is saying me dropping it and you saying metal raid. So obviously this trinket is not required for no death mode. I've routed it in because I just think it's funny to go for VVVVV in no death mode. Because it's just funny, you know? Because VVVVV, if you've done it enough in 100%, is easy. It's just, you get the muscle memory and you do it, you know? Truly. I'm so used to doing that room fast that deliberately slowing down and like taking it very, very methodical and slowly is almost more terrifying. It's weird doing it slowly. It's weird. Okay, we're gonna go to Warp Zone next. Because it's probably in order of difficulty, probably like SS2, Warp Zone, Lab, SS1, Hour. I mean, I guess in the level of strats. But yeah, I think that the next games I'm going to play when I put this on the shelf after I beat No Death Mode and after I finish up with some post-game stuff in Expedition 33. I think I'm going to do Ace Attorney 5. It's like Twinkie gave that to me like a little while back, and I haven't gotten to any of it yet, and I feel bad about that. And then I think I'm going to get to Everhood. The 3... Watch. Thank you. You don't have channel points. I think channel points are required to get a watch... to have watch streaks enabled. Obviously, it's not like I have a ton of, like, interesting things for points to be used on. Lower there. Oh. Yeah, you can just hold left there. I did it in a practice. We're just taking... I was gonna say we're taking these rooms a little slower, but... And then I died because I didn't do an input and went a little too fast. Oh, Twinkie gave you a game. That's the thing, is that, like, it was your birthday yesterday, and I was thinking, like, I would feel bad about gifting you a game, because then it's like, I already know your backlog is, like, fucked. Like, the one I could have given would be, like the Nonary game collection, but it's like, I don't need to harp on you for that. I just know that you'll get to stuff whenever you get to stuff, right? I could? Yeah, but it's like, the thing is that, like, if I even time capsule a game, that would just mean that you've developed a schedule for whenever, and then it's like, oh no, this is an unscheduled game that now just dropped in. Like, I don't want to... I feel like giving you a game is more like giving you a burden, right? Giving you, like, a weight around your neck at this point, because you have so many games. What's the... Have you mentioned your... Well, yeah, I gotta do... Well, that reminds me, is that, like, in October, hopefully we can do residential... Residential? What the fuck am I talking about? Resident Evil 4, if we can fit it in. If, like, the two of us can schedule times. Because I know we had talked about that. I would say residential? Well, sorry, my brain doesn't work. Fuck. Hi, Kiara. How are you doing tonight? The evil's in the resident. Self-deprecation into boss run. True combo. True. Fumble. I was thinking, I haven't watched like an anime or a TV show in a while. One show I really need to fucking watch that I've been told about for years that I really need to watch. I really want to watch Owl House, the Owl House. Soma. I got some bass practice in Gara. And I have been seriously thinking about getting a bass DI/drive system. So what did you say? Silksong DLC, which is probably coming sometime this year, from all we know, right? Did they say sometime this year? Because I don't want to like try and pin anything on the Silksong devs on Team Cherry. They spent 7 years on that first fucking game, or on Silksong, and now it's like, I don't want to put any pressure on them. Okay, we finally got Silksong. Silksong is real. The Silksong! The Silksong is real! You know? And like, we have Shad, we have Shern. True. I mean, I haven't gotten to the end of chapter 5 yet, obviously, for those who are keeping up with the Deltarune streams with Sky. So it's like, so it's like, I don't know if I meant to take that slower. I didn't do the move that makes that work, so that is my fault. I've been trying to take it slower, but like, I don't know if like at the end of chapter 4, you know, he said chapter 5 in 1 year, and it happened. And I mean, he did. Chapter 5 was about a year after chapters 3 and 4. So I don't know if there's any soft release date, like teaser at the end of chapter 5 for chapter 6. I'm not sure, obviously. Obviously, you don't have to tell me. I would request you not tell me if there was. Headphone collection. Ooh, hell yeah. You have a pink one? A couple pink ones? But yeah, I'm trying to resist getting another bass guitar. What kind of... I'm trying to remember. You mentioned, like, one of the previous streams, some of the basses you have. I'm, like, happy with the basses I have right now. I've been playing a lot with just the Squire P bass. Simple. Oh, you have one of the cat earphones? Nah, those are cute. They could work for me, because I have like I have a sweater and a shirt that's like Catboy. As I like to say, Catboy, divorced from gender. That could be an NB Catboy. That isn't hard. I don't know why I die there. horns on it. I'm trying to remember. I mean, your old VTuber model had a crown on it, right? Not like horns. Know how devilish you try to be. Does still have the crown? I mean, I haven't seen any updated art of your Sona. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's the latest thing. Your dog to heart. I guess that is your current profile pic on Discord. Yeah. Yeah. I just meant of like base Octoheart, normal Octoheart. So I guess, you know, dog to be normal. It's like I did this area in practice like once and I did it deathless, and then it's just like, well, dang, I just can't get through any of these areas deathless now. I just want to get to intermission. Fun. Get me to an intermission. I've just got to like slow down and think of like what's most consistent. Okay? The problem is that like some of my strats are kind of faster ones that I'm just so used to that trying to consciously do slow strats is almost worse at times because of like how used to and how baked into like muscle memory some of these, you know, faster strats are. You know, like slowing down there is almost worse, right? Because it almost takes you out of the flow, right? Normal Octoheart is dog to heart. Well, I mean, I already know like the it's, you know, you like machine-like things, robot, part of rejection of humanity. I remember like some of your talk about like pronoun, all that jazz. Humanity does suck shit in. God damn. Praise dog. You know, sometimes when I die someplace I haven't died at in a while, it's like, oh yeah, this game like has hard parts all around it. And I'm just so used to like doing things, oh god, I almost died there, a certain way that it's like, oh yeah, some of this stuff is supposed to be hard. Fuck. I got punished. I should probably just do that the slower way. Like remember how to do the slower way. Like, that's one of those problems, is that I haven't practiced, like, what would be a slower, more consistent way of doing that. I'm just that's the way I remember how to do that room there, is just doing it the fast way. I should probably, like, just try and do it, like, it's actually not too bad to do it semi-fast and, like, more consistent. Not needing to get a pretty tight input. I just didn't think about the rhythm of doing the fast way, but I'm just still floored. 200 stream watch streak. That is almost a year's worth of streams. Probably a little less than that, but like at least we're talking like 3/4 of a year of worth of streams, given my usual rate of streaming. Truly impressive. Thank you, my friend. Plain sailing. Never learned that strategy. I was a little close, but we died. Or we didn't die, I mean. That's how to do that rune. Now a zombie. I died. Zombolombo. Zombocom. I feel like I heard that Zombocom is gone. I don't want to believe it. I haven't checked. I don't want to accidentally start mashing right above a spike floor, you know. I died there once. I mean, the goal is to try and do, like, the harder zones first, right? So it's like I have less pressure going into tower, you know? Because SS2 and Warp Zone are the spots I'm... All trinkets, no deaths? There's a few trinkets that are, like, very hard to do without dying. I would actually need to legitimately practice some of them. Like, there's one in the lab that is... I have heard it described as a 1-frame window to do the input to get back out of it. It's unobtainium, the one that's kind of like hidden behind an area. And then there's Edge Games coming up here, which is annoying enough to get to. And then to get out, I don't know how hard it is actually to get out. I've never tried. But it's like, you know, before I even learned like the difficult strat, it was just an R press once you get it and you go back to the save and you flip out. So I am not going for like deathless all trinkets. That's tough. And Dawn, I know that there are runs of it, like speed runs too. I'm just like, cool. If KSS shows up, I know that she's ran that. I know she was talking about it one of the last streams I was doing this. This one I want to be careful. When I just got time. First intermission. I haven't practiced the intermission, but I probably should have practiced it once at least. I made sure to do it like slower so I didn't accidentally like run off a cliff. Death. This is the room I'm scared about. Oh, that was a little close. Okay. Why are you booing? Why are you booing? Trying to scare me? Dog, what? That's rude, trying to scare me when I'm in the middle of a difficult run. It's just rude. It's very, very... Much terror in this. So far. I'm glad my internet's working all right. My internet dropped for a little bit yesterday, like at the beginning of work, and they said, we're working on internet in your area, and like, but the internet was only down for like 30 minutes. All right, wish me luck. I mean, if I die, I just want to die on someplace that's, like, reasonable to die on. Like that's a tough spot, right? Not like an easy spot that I should be better at, you know? Tight. Woo! This is not a good positioning. Fuck! Oh! Shit. What's up, Redman? How are you doing? Fuck. I mean, that's a very difficult transition. That's a reasonable spot to die on. Fuck. Having a chill night? Yeah, I'm working on this. This is the last achievement in this game that I don't have. I never even got this way back when. There's a couple achievements that are very difficult that I kind of cheesed with glitches because you can do that stuff in this game. I mean, this is an entirely deathless mode. If you die, it's like a golden berry in Celeste. It just boots you out. Boots you back to the start of the game. I think there's ways of cheesing this with glitches as well, actually. There's a few, like, massive game-breaking glitches. Like, even bigger game-breaking glitches than, like, I did in, like, the speed run. Like, stuff that's, like, not really as useful for, like, certain runs. But, like, there's... Probably the biggest one is something called Big Viridian. So, like, a reward that you get for beating the game with all 20 trinkets is once you've beaten the game and rolled credits, you can re-enter the game. You can do this anyways. When you, like, haven't beaten the game with 20 trinkets, you can reload and find the trinkets. But once you've found them all, you talk to one of the crew members in the ship, and you get transported to another dimension, which leads to a cutscene, which leads to the secret lab. And there's a few extra things in there. There's the super gravitron. There's a room where there's trophies for like achievements. But the cutscene involves all the crewmates combining into a gigantic crewmate, which we know colloquially as Big Viridian. And if you... I don't remember if you have to press R and then quit out, or if you just quit out and then restart the game, like start a new file, you will be Big Viridian if you quit out while you are Big Viridian. It's something like that. I haven't messed with that glitch since, like, 2015. So it's like, the thing is that you have to start it from a completed file and then unlock Big Viridian. Not, like, unlock, but, like, achieve it in the cutscene and then restart the game and take it to something else. So you can use Big Viridian to then go to the secret lab and really screw with the super gravitron, and there's an achievement for that. Survive it for 1 minute. I'm pretty sure I used that because that Viridian has messed up physics. You just clip out of the super gravitron and then you can just survive for a minute and more super easily. Oh, come on. And then there's, I feel like I've heard that can be used to cheese no death mode because you clip out of so many things when you're Big Viridian. It's weird, it's wonky, but like I would have to look up a route to do it because like spikes still hurt you, but you would need to figure out how to. There's a route probably to, you know, achieve deathless with Big Viridian. And I could probably cheese it that way, but whoa, but I want to beat this the hard way. I mean, this is doing things the hard way, you know? 'Cause, I mean, I've finally, you know, re-derusted this game after 11 years. Yeah, glad you're having a chill night. Congrats on the record. I saw you posted in Binary Breakers about getting record your speed game, and that's super hella cool. Probably should watch that. I do not know the game very well, or like at all. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, after I, you know... Yeah, right now I'm waiting for the runs to be posted on the YouTube. I mean, I already watched like the Twitch VOD back a decent number of times because I was like, I mean, this was like my first major speed game. But, like, I never had a chance to show it off, even, like, at an online marathon. Because I did a few online marathons, like, way back in the day. I don't remember, like, which ones. Probably VODs are lost to history. But, I mean, like, my first, like, in-person runs were, like, I was at the first NASA in 2016, that short-lived marathon. And then, as a tea tree mentioned during the lead-up to my run, I ran Caro Blaster at SGDQ 2017, and that was kind of my swan song for the longest time in speedrunning. I was like, all right, I've got to perform on the GDQ stage. I'm pretty content. Hey, I mean, like, doing, like, a hotfix run is a good first step to, you know, doing something like that. I mean, I like just performing. Like, obviously, I've sang on stage, both at, like, GDQs and also just, like, I've done talent shows in college. I've done, like, theater. So it's like, I like performing. Oh, nice. What did you commentate? Yeah, I've done I've done like at least like maybe like a dozen couch commentaries now through the years. Oh, nice. Don't think I caught it when y'all were doing that. I don't know where I was. I was busy. Every GDQ marathon, I find myself busier than the last because of just the friends I hang out with and volunteering and doing other stuff. I mean, I also did 2 a.m. on Saturday morning. Hell yeah. I mean, that happens. Not the worst time for it. 2 a.m. at least some people are still awake. I mean, when I did my Caro Blaster run, it was at like 6 a.m. and I was dead inside. Truly the scope of humanity. Doing a 6 a.m. midweek run, it's like, yep, here we are. And then doing a primetime Saturday run. Truly the duality of humanity. Trying to remember. That was like Mikan had a run around that time, didn't she? I feel like Mikan had like around that time. I watched the VOD for Mikan's run. Yeah, I did commentary for Dark Souls at AGD. I just watch a lot of Dark Souls runs, and QQ didn't have anybody, because I think that like Blanks and a few other people were supposed to come to do Demon Souls Remake, and then the runner dropped out, so I think some of those folks were supposed to be on the couch, and I was just like, I mean, if you want just someone to keep you company and to go over a few things if you need to concentrate on some spots, so that was fun. Like, even though I haven't ever run Dark Souls, I'm kind of a member of the community just by being in chats enough and just being a chill hang. There's like a lot of communities I'm just kind of like an unofficial member of because I just hang out enough in the chats and or hang out with folks at GDQ. All right, let's do this. But yeah, I believe in you. It's for like getting a game that you really like in, there is a strategy of when's the last time said game has been in? Is it a new category? Have there been any updates? So sometimes it is just kind of, you got to strategize about like, when is a game going to be a good like submission? You know, like what are my odds of getting in if I do this, you know, run? There is some strategy there, and even like a game that hasn't been in for a while, it's not a guaranteed, you know, submission anyways, right? Games community has a increasingly difficult time, you know, picking stuff out, right? There's just so many cool speed runs out there. And so many like cool ideas being floated for, you know, speed runs and, you know, showcases at the GDQ meeting, right? But like, I believe if you set that as a goal, I think that it is entirely achievable. God knows when I got Carol Blaster in at SGDQ 17, it was like, I was like, dang, I've achieved one of my major speedrunning goals. I don't really want to speedrun too much right now, and I didn't for a while. I did like some speedrunning back in 2019 for Llama Lana 2. But then other than that, I hadn't speedrun almost at all until Ilomavi got this game accepted to SGDQ. And I was like, why don't I just de-rust it? And here I am. I'm just so happy I got to show it off for the non-binary showcase. Because, like, fun fact, I got this game accepted for AGDQ 2015 and wasn't able to attend. So another top runner who was also going was able to show off. It was a bunch of glitch categories, like glitch categories and stuff. And oh, that was close. All right, if this one dies, I will grab another drink. Well, we're getting to the Gravitron a lot quicker. It took me a while to get there, like, last time. I think a few, like, easy strats in a few rooms have been helping. And I did a little bit of offline practice today. I did some offline practice today. It was just like, I just need to practice. Let's lock the fuck in. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Fuck me. That was very tough. Let's grab another drink. That section is a hard one, so it's like one I'm okay dying. I don't like dying on it, but that's like a part of the Gravitron. Press that button. We've had 2 good attempts to the Gravitron today so far in the first hour of stream. So that's pretty okay. It's pretty superdy duperdy neat. It's pretty alright. SS1s. SS1. I know some people have different methods of getting through. I like that. I like the way I got. Really okay doing that slower there. That feels fine. A little more consistent. Gotta take this nice and slow. Push. Busted. Yo, is that heavy shadow sound? What up? How you doing tonight? God knows I've been... You just been attacking buses. Download a bus. Or no, a train. It's a train. Why am I saying bus? It's a train. You download a train? I gotta do the voice right. And the answer is yes. I would. I get push notifications when you update. I don't know why my phone gives me push notifications when you update your status, but it does. Your Discord status. Discord is a very unserious app. The specific one. But yeah, I hope you're doing well tonight, Heavy. Fuck me. Oh my god. That's the second time I've died here today. That's like, it's like, oh, I should slow down and like be careful. And like slowing down makes me die there because I just don't. Like, my momentum carries me forward, and it's like, oh, I should stop. But it's like, oh. How you doing, Vic? Please don't tell me I missed you streaming today. Oh, no, you said you couldn't stream today, right? When I was watching you at Tess, or when we were watching Tess. Were you hanging with family today? MySpace era. I was never a MySpace kid. I was entirely uncool in my middle school and high school years. I honestly, I'm the coolest I've ever been around now. Enter food coma. Hell yeah. Cousin's birthday. Nice. Like, I don't know how, but this is like the coolest I've ever been the last few years. Like, I don't know how, like, I've gotten to this level of cool. I think it's actually just people find me cool, and it's like, well, okay, I'm just leaning into the things I like and doing it in a bigger and louder way than I ever have before. The tattoos, the style, I'm just kind of like, fuck it. I just need to like my things and like them bigger, you know? Densha no hit. Is there an achievement for it, or is it just you think it'd be cool to try? Just to make your life worse. Hell yeah. God, I will say that, like, I know I was posting about it the last few days and the last week in my Discord, but like, God knows, like, I'm this close to pulling up like the DI that Tudos has, the B7K Dark Glass, and ordered off of Sweetwater. I'm this close. And I'd make sure I like read some reviews and it's like, it does not come with a power block, so you better buy that too. And it's like, it does. I mean, if I get like really stressed out during this, I might pull out the bass and like practice some on camera so we could experience that together. I mean, I did get some practice in today, so you know. Sussy. How you doing, Des? I hope that you ate food. Like Disney Hercules? I will find my way. I can go the distance. I'll be there someday. If I can be strong, I know every mile will be worth my while. I would go almost anywhere to find where I belong. Yeah, but that's one of my favorite to sing. I won't say that it's my favorite song, but like that's one that's like entirely within my voice and within my vocal style. So that's why I have a fondness for it as well. So because it's like, yeah, I can sing that song. That's like a good song for my voice too, right? I don't know if I've ever heard you try to sing. Like I'm not like I think I was like in college. I actually like it was in one of my vocal books, so I did actually learn a little bit about that song, like the I Will Find My Way. There's a few other songs from like musicals and movies, but I think there was one from like Beauty and the Beast, like the stage show that I learned a bit of, like 'cause it was in one of my books. And then there's like one from Chess the Musical that I especially remember learning, Anthem. I cross over borders, but I'm still there now. Not the most supported note ever, but you know, we hit those. Dang, that's rough. I mean, like karaoke games and doing karaoke with friends is like just one of those things where it's like, yeah, we're all having fun together. Like, you have nice bucko to the people who do sing and the people who don't usually sing and wants to do it. Yeah, but that's sad. I mean, like, I know this just like, well, that's just how mom is. But that just makes me sad that you had to experience that growing up. God knows I complain about my parents, but one thing is that they were always supportive and encouraging of me in all the arts that I attempted. God knows I never tried to be a painter or shit like that. But that was one where it's like, it's not my thing. But like, you know, the acting, the singing, the music lessons, they supported that, you know? Well, self-esteem is a lie. God knows I'm still searching for that. Even when it's like, people like me. People think I'm relatively skilled at things I put my effort to. Is that a lie? No, it's everyone else who's wrong, you know? But that's just, you know, kind of... Classic. That's real. It's real. It sucks ass when it's just like, you know that if you talk to any of your friends, it would be like, no, you're an awesome person. I love you. And then it's just like, dang, I've tricked them too. Because God knows I have those thoughts in my mind. But then it's like, you know, people actually make effort for me. It's like, dang. You know? Yeah. Because it sucks, because it's like, oh, there's all the, like, actual evidence that people like me genuinely and care about me. But then it's like, when I'm alone in my room and in a bad mood or, like, work's gone badly, it's like, nah, that can't be right. It's one of those things I wish I could feel it more, but it's like one of those things that I, like, just gonna keep on looking. I could just, like, tell myself and actually think it and feel it, right? Rather than just have to, like, tell myself, hey, you know? Ball got him. Same thing, but... Damn, these fools don't even know what I'm... Another run to space station or intermission 1. Game Dole. Bro do be addicted. I mean, I just play Game Dole vicariously through you and Vic. That's what I do. Y'all are the ones who play it, and I just play it through y'all, right? Fuck you, bitch! The thing is that the, like, Vic and Des occasionally, like, stream it, so we just, like, crowdsource stuff at some points. It's fun. It's a good time. God, yeah. Like, I took half of a big edible last night. It was, like, the full edible would have been, I think, 25 milligrams, which most of, like, the things I've had are like 10 milligrams, so I cut it in half, so it's still like stronger than the usual thing I had. But, oh, I was gone last night. Stronger pre-roll, dang. I mean, I don't know, like, how much, like, a joint would be, like, THC-wise, right? I just see, like, the dosage on, like, the, you know, the packet stuff. So it's like I took half of one like, the bigger one last night, and God, I was gone. I definitely woke up slightly groggy still, and I just kind of rolled over and went, like, I'm getting up. Fuck it. Like, I had nothing else going on today. Like, I was just stressed this whole week, whole work week. It was my first full... sludge metal. You gotta let me guess a vocal for something heavy. I can put in a vocal. I can put in a vocal performance for a track. You know I can. Depending on the track. Depending on, like, where you want the voice. I can do kind of like softer stuff, and I feel like I don't, the problem is that I've tried to like do like a grittier voice, and it always sounds like it's just so unserious and so like not heavy enough for like a style that I would think of it. I don't know, it's one of those things. Disney Hercules is a good one. 0 to hero, and just like that. Yeah, I could do like style like that. It's like one of those. I don't know like how much I can truly get like that style that would actually like fit into that. 'Cause I mean, I have a little bit of classical training, but like I've more been on my own developing my own like grittier tone with a little more fire under it, or like smoother tone like this, or like, you know, more lighter and softer. That could be like a contrast, you know. But it's like I want to make heavier music. Oh hell yeah! I mean, I don't know what the Dench Attack like soundtrack is like, you know. I mean, you've been talking about it. I haven't listened to the E33 OST yet, even though I bought it. Not token for a year. That's a good goal. I mean, just like, you know, like if you set a goal for yourself of some sort of sobriety, that's like hella cool, you know? Hey, you're doing it. You're finally doing it. I mean, I feel like Canada ain't so bad. I feel like for you, it's more like... I feel like the main thing for you is just getting out of kind of a dead-end job and finally starting an actual career, right? Because God knows when I was working fast food for 6 years that even like as much as my mental health was working to improve, I mean, my mental health is still a place that exists. But like, God knows, like, getting an actual job that paid better, gave me benefits, that actually gave me money in my pocket and giving me a semblance of independence did more for my mental health than the fucking therapy I was in at the time and the pills I was taking at the time. I feel like that's like one step along in the, you know, way of like, I feel like that's like undercover of like a lot of stuff where it's just like, yeah, sometimes there is like a mental imbalance and that shit can persist too. But it's also like, you know, we are living in a system that like sucks us dry and is made to make us feel like I clipped through the ground. And then I died. Whatever. Fuck me. How are you doing, Vicky? You do need quality sleep. I mean, yeah. But it's like, it's their goal to not give you as much as you can work. And retail work just sucks your soul. You know that. That's a loaded question. Well, heart. Heart sign, Vicky. Yeah, I have not ever tried to really write music. I've tried to write like just a few bass riffs, but I want to, yeah, it sounds like it. But it's like, I wanna jam with folks at some point. It didn't happen at SGDQ because it was just so busy. It's just like tough to like think about like, I more think of like an A section and B section rather than like, you know, verse or chorus right now, you know. I mean, like I did like, I think I can remember what I would consider a hardcore bass line that I worked on when I was like working on stuff either when I was in the music store last week or the week before or something, or like just around. But it's just like, I don't know like good like chord progressions, you know, where it's like would be good to like actually create like a song out of, you know. I just like, I know like probably a lot of people just piece riffs together until they make something, right? Yeah, I'll read your message in a second. Like I gotta concentrate at least a little bit. God knows that no death mode is fucked. Oh, jeez. Yeah. That's rough. Well, I know that, like, for a lot of people, they do record in parts anyways, right? Obviously, some people do it, like, all the way through, right? But I don't know if, like, just the nature of how you're writing it, how you're recording it, that, like, breaking it or doing, like, a separate take for something would just sound, like, stitched together and it would break up the organic flow of the song, you know? Depending on, you know, the song, depending on how you put together, you know? And obviously, I've not done, like... The closest I've done to, like, recording is... like recording vocals from here for when Limiter Cut did the like song versions, recorded versions of the songs from Crazy Taxi so we could put it on a cassette. I'm still like dudos, can we get those on YouTube? I'd love to share those with people, but that hasn't happened. I just forget to ask him. I just hope we can get those on, like, YouTube. I don't know. It's been a while, and it's a priority, too. We're all just working on stuff. I was happy to just get those recorded. Yeah, I hope you get some rest in. Sounds like it's a big... Sounds like it's been a lot that y'all have been... of you. I know that, like, you were talking about just, like carting John around to different medical tests. Just the barrage of medical appointments was a lot for him. And I know that's, like, especially with, like, some of the procedures you've had, and obviously the diabetes stuff and the other health stuff you've had, like, you were more used to that. But I just hope you get some chance to rest and, like, recover yourself, too. It's Saturday. I'm working. God knows, like, I had told myself on Friday that I was gonna have an edible and just utterly relax. And, like, I worked, like, my second half of the day in the office, and it was like, and then it's like, oh, I'll drop off these envelopes at a local post office before I get home. And I was like, oh, I'll just go to this post office. There's got to be a drop box like on site. It says it's going to be closed, but there's going to be an outside like mailbox to the post office in this downtown, like just random suburb. And there wasn't. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to drive to a bar and have a few drinks because I just feel like it. And when I was driving just on a side street before I got to a major road, I just saw a drop box outside of like just a industrial building. And it's like, okay, I'm quick stopping in that parking lot and dropping these mail things off. And then, so I did that. I just had a Malort shot and a beer, got home, started cooking dinner. Had my edible right after dinner, got some bass practice in before I completely zonked out, and then just chilled the rest of the night. It was sufficient for what I needed last night, given how just like, because it was my first full work week since like before SGDQ, since like before the week before SGDQ, because it was 4th of July week right before, and I didn't work the 3rd. Decompress at your parents' house? Nice. Dad, oh. Good insurance now? Yeah, that's good at least. Gotta stay healthy. More than just staying healthy for yourself now, you know? Gotta stay healthy for you. But yeah, and then I just slept in today, and I just did a whole lot of nothing today too. Like, slept in really late. Got some bass practicing, got some V6 practicing, but I just wanted to really just chill. and not like worry about anything, and I didn't. It's just like with work right now, like our team is under like a big metrics push right now. Because like in the company, we have a lot of backlog on our team versus how other teams across the country in our position are doing. And so it's like our manager from pressure from higher up has been putting pressure on us, and we've been, you know, doing our best to trickle things back to say like, hey, we have issues with this team that's been not giving us the things we need, and we also have these issues and that issues, and they keep on rolling out new systems that are supposed to be helping, but they kind of aren't. It's like, why are we rolling out new systems without confirming that they are going to work exactly how y'all intend them to? And it's just frustrating that they're kind of just doing that without, like, consulting our team for how they're going to change things. And, like... But it's just the stress of being kind of put under that, like... Oh my god. Yo, what's up, KSS? How are you doing tonight? Went to bed late and got up at 7. Oh, God. Yeah, I, like, woke up, like, around 9:30. I was supposed to do a Higurashi session with Data, but Data had to cancel, so I was like, I rolled over and went back to bed till a little before noon. So, update on runs. I had one run that died at the 5-second mark in the Gravitron. That's the new PB. I was a little far right when the 5-second pattern started, and it was just a bad place to be, and I died, and I was like, fuck. And then I also died in the 30 to 20 second mark, and that was just kind of... I was not a comfortable rhythm with that pattern, like in the attempt, and so... But that's 2 that happened within the first hour, and then I haven't gotten back since. Just take melatonin. I mean, depends on, like, will you take a bit to fall asleep? Is that kind of the worry? Is that you might just be too anxious to fall asleep, or you just really want to conk out, like, super hard? Not worry about, like, naturally falling asleep and naturally getting tired and just going, like, I just want to go to bed. Hopefully you're not doing too much tomorrow. Like, I'll probably be hanging out tomorrow at my parents' for a bit. Watching the F1 race with my dad. Having dinner over there, doing laundry. It's like usual Sunday behavior. Obviously, last Sunday was different. I quick went over, like, early to do laundry, and then I had to get back in time so I could do Child of Light commentary. And then, you know, eat an early dinner so I was ready in time for my run at the NB Showcase. Which I'm still happy about. I know that, like, the one thing I could say is that, like, if it was going to be, like, if we had more time and maybe we would have mapped out who was talking when, because we kind of all talked over each other at, like, certain bits of time, but that's, like, the least of my worries. We all did such a good job. I'm happy with how the run went, how I played. I'm happy I got to show off V6, like, actually be the player for, like, a marathon run. I think that's super cool. It's just, like, one of my things where it's like, yes, I am comfortable talking on a stage. So it's like, God knows I was certainly willing to lead some commentary and transition. That's just kind of how I am. Because there are some people, you know, like, I still find it wild for some people, like, you know, a Dragon Blitz at SGDQ didn't have a couch when he played Symphony of the Night. He just led the whole run himself. And I'm just like, how? I mean, God knows he's done how many GDQ runs of Symphony of the Night alone. Like, just by, I mean, himself doing the run. I don't know with the commentators, but just like, he has played Symphony of the Night so many times on that stage. I don't know if it'd be scary, but it's just like to have, it's more like to have that level of confidence in your gameplay and in providing commentary, right? It does help to have the homies, but it's also just like, I mean, like, once the Crazy Taxi run got underway and, like, Tudos and Chuckles, like, talked about the concept for the run, it was just me talking and passing it off to, you know, Zenadier on occasion. But it's like, you know, I can talk and play at the same time. I've done, like, commentary, like, you know, did it... When I did, like, Carol Blaster, it was mostly, like, you know, passing off for some donations, passing off to, S-Grunt to do some puns on my behalf, which was wonderful. But it's like, I was the main one talking about the game at that point, you know? I just, like, sit there for a little bit so I don't accidentally, like, run off the edge to the right now. Because dying there, like, once was like, okay, we've died there once, let's just never do it again, right? Like, I don't want to accidentally mash when I don't need to, just jazz like that. Oh yeah, the last time I died was over here. Like, bro died there, and it was like, fuck, no, we're not having that happening. I think that's fast enough? Okay, good. Face care, nice. God, I hate shaving so fucking much, but like, I hate having facial hair much more. I tried using a new razor, and God knows I gave myself 2 unique cuts. Hell yeah. I have a friend who's getting, I think, electrolysis, because I know electrolysis is different than laser, right? I've thought of it. I just fucking hate facial hair. How you doing, Hope? I backed off a little bit. That should be fine there. that was a little close. A little nerve-wracking there. It's one of those things where it's like I'm talking about these things, but like we're talking about like minor amounts of degree of like, that input was a little close, but I did it within enough of a window. Fine, right? But yeah, one of my friends mentioned that they're getting like, I think it's electrolysis, which is like the zap at the hair follicle, which is I think different than laser. I don't know the different like hair removing lightning methods. God knows. If I went to a doctor and actually talked about this stuff, I don't know. Anyways, I gotta lock the fuck in. It's the Gravitron. It's that place where I die. I'm not doing it. Not a good... Over to the left. Fuck you? The good positioning. Okay, how the fuck do I get to the tower from here? Somewhere over here. I don't think there's any, like spikes here. That was a little too close for comfort. What the fuck? Oh, fuck you. Why? Fuck me! No! Fuck. I guess it just did. Who gives it? That was so close. That was really close. That was really, really, really close. I mean, that's a hard spot. I mean, that was my first attempt that made it past Gravitron. So that's good. Like, I was worried, like, am I gonna find some dumb way of dying in tower? I was wondering that, you know? Like, am I gonna find some dumb, stupid way to die in tower? No, I didn't. Which, that's good. So, I mean, because that's the goal of doing, like, Space Station 2 and Warp Zone, like, as the first two regions. Because they're the hardest ones. And, like, KSS was giving me that advice when I did, like, the tower earlier. And I know that she had said, like, yeah, we do tower last because it's, like, easy. And it's like, you have a point. You have a point. So it's like, it'd be nice to get it out of the way earlier because that means I can maybe get more attempts to the Gravitron. But, like, then it would be like, you know, there's a harder difficulty part after the Gravitron and your, you know, heart rate spikes. And, like, I was, like, where I died was not, that's not a, like, a dumb death. I'm just gonna say that is a place that I have died in runs before, like actual speed runs. That's a difficult section. That screen is hard. So that's, like, not a dumb death. That is not a dumb death. So it's like, I don't consider that a choke of any sort. That is a, okay, that's a tough room. That's a spot where, like, okay, yeah, if I die there, that's like, okay, that's reasonable. Not like any death is like, oh God, that's fine. But it's like, okay, that's a room where I could die. And it's not a stupid death. It's not a, wow, I just fucking choked it, right? Yeah. So, I mean, like, I didn't unpress and repress left for long enough, because there's a couple of those sections where I kind of am, like, untapping and retapping the button to, because I can't just hold left through that section. I just didn't do it for long enough. I didn't unpress for long enough. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? But yeah, 2 minutes to get the nerves under control. And I mean, I didn't die in a stupid way. I died in a regular, oh, that's a hard room way. So, like, you know? Like, as I've said, I'm, like, not mad about that one. I'm disappointed for fucking sure, but, like, that's okay. It's like, oh, I died in that room? Okay, that's a room I can die in, right? You can die in almost every room. That's a room that has a number of deaths by me in speed runs because it's a hard room. It's just a difficult room to do, so. I mean, I'm so used to doing the first trinket is not hard. The second trinket is where, like, that's a trinket you can mess up. And it's, like, not, like, doing that, like, the other routes that are obviously, like, no trinket in them is just like, oh, God, I'm not used to doing it. But there's, like, barely any hazards if you just slow down and keep your eyes open. It's like, oh, yeah, this is pretty simple. Yeah, I've just got to not stupid, right? Which, when you're doing no death mode, you have to constantly remind yourself, hey, don't do anything stupid. Like, I've finally started to slow this room down. Like, I'm just doing it semi-casually there. Because it's like, why am I trying to go for the speed strat that's more inconsistent? What am I doing? That one was just me forgetting how themes work. Good old reset. We've gotten 3 runs to the Gravitron. One that died in the 30 to 20 second mark, which is a very hard section. One that died in the 5 second mark, which is a hard section. And one that got past it and died in the final level. So, like, we're doing better this stream than we did last stream, you know? Last time I streamed this. This is my practice earlier today has been paying off. We'll say that much, right? I mean, SS1 doesn't take too long to get through. I mean, this is a short game. Right? 100% being below 15 minutes. A run like this being around that same, like, time length, even, like, without, like, major glitches, line clips being such a minor glitch, honestly, in this category. I'm having a good old Jim and Thomas right now. I like a good gin and tonic. I just wanted to spice it up. I hope you're doing well today, KSS. Having a good day. I'm hoping I can wrap up this today so I can... I think I am going to be moving on from V6 soon so I can get back to a slew of casual games and indie games that I want to get to. God knows my last couple of months have been like V6, Expedition 33, and the occasional Deltarune, like, stream. Nice. I probably should exercise at all. I still have... I'm relatively skinny nerd bod, but, like, even I noticed like a little more extra weight around the waist, around the stomach that I didn't have a decade ago. I mean, probably anyone else would still call me skinny, but it's like I recognize the additional stuff there. I don't know. I want to try and rock a crop top at some point. I probably could. Because I think a crop top is more in the confidence than it is in, like... Because, like, I've seen people of, like, all builds rock crop tops, and I just think, like, damn. They're pulling that off, you know? I think it's so much more about the confidence than it is about the actual body shape, you know? Morning, Tudos. How are you doing today? I was telling Heavy this, but, like, God knows I am resisting the urge to buy a dark glass DI. I might stop resisting the urge soon, but, like... I've been thinking about it. Oh, God, what am I... There we go. I mean, to be honest, it's like there's a thought between, it's like, should I get just sort of a regular Sans Amp one, or should I get the dark glass one? And it's probably like a healthy, like, toss-up, right? I think that, like, there's probably a whole range of sounds I can find by just simply... like figuring out blend and figuring out how much drive and figuring out the level of it, where it's like, you know, I can get a decent, nice crunch that's not like too overblown, right? Because it's like, I feel like that there's some sounds where I just want to like find just a little bit of bite to it and not like go super hard metal bit crushed, right? Because obviously there's a time and place for that, right? It's not dying. See, like, one of my favorite things, and also, like, just having, like, a better preamp, like, than just, like, on my, like, just leave, like, the EQ on my amp back there, just all at 12 o'clock, and then just mess with the different audio settings on, like, the DI, especially for the... What? That held left a little longer than I thought it was going. Hello? Odd, that didn't feel right. And that's all the time, yeah. I shared this with Tudos Heavy, but I was like really curious what Converge used for their drive on bass. So I found I think it was from like a couple years ago, but like post-COVID, a rig rundown of Nate and Kurt going over their gear before a concert with a YouTube channel. And it was like the drive pedal, at least the one that I found that the bassist was using, I think he was using like a fucking guitar drive pedal, just a random guitar drive pedal. I had never heard of it. Tudos hadn't heard of it. It was just like, okay, sure, you're using a guitar drive pedal. Hell yeah. Because I was just curious, because like I've been listening to the two new Converge albums a decent bit. I think I still do prefer Love Is Not Enough, but I do like Hum of Hurt too. And I've realized that I need to fucking do a deep dive on their fucking discography. I need to do a fucking... Because, I mean, I have, obviously I have Jane Doe. What's the other one I have? I have one of their other ones. It's the one with, like, the moons on it. I haven't listened to that one in a bit. All We Love, We Leave Behind. Is that the one I have? The one with, like, the phases of the moon on it? Yeah. So I have that one. That one I just picked up used from, like, a music store at some point. And it was like, oh. And it was good, too. I haven't listened to it, but I really ought to. And then I have, like, the two new ones. The two that came out this year. And they're still fucking incredible. Despite them being, like, in their third decade or something as a band, right? Axe to Fall? Okay. I mean, I gotta listen again to, like, Jane Doe and just remind myself, oh, yeah, this one's, like, just incredible as shit, right? I mean, making that kind of heavy music and still having it sound fresh after all this time, like, damn, they got the sauce, right? I think it helps that it's just still so... grungy's not the right word, but it's still so harsh and it's still so... It hasn't, like, gotten lighter. It hasn't gotten, like, obviously it has such a level of production to it, but it's still kept that, like, sharp, crunchy edge. Like, their production as well as their songs, you know? Because I feel like so many bands, like, just start to make some form of slop at some point. Maybe not slop, that's the wrong way to put it, but, like, that their sound smooths out at a certain point as they get older. And I think that is not... For some artists, that can be fine, right? You know, you change as a songwriter, you change as a musician, as an artist, as you grow older, too. And that's fine, you know? You know, for some bands that have been doing it as long as they have, you know, like, when some of them are still doing, like, some of the same styles and sounds that they were doing, like, ages and ages ago, I'm, like, kind of like, haven't you outgrown that? Haven't you wanted to change? And obviously, like, I don't know the full context for the band, so I don't know how much they have changed. And obviously, like, Jane Doe sounds extraordinarily different than, like, this stuff. Like, for one, you can actually kind of understand the lyrics in, like, the later Converge albums. And you definitely... I can hardly understand anything the screamer is saying in Jane Doe, but it doesn't matter because you can understand the pain and the hurt, you know? So I feel like you can, like, you can pick up more in these more recent albums. But yeah, one of you message me that, or send in my music channel just so I can remember to check, like, whatever that one, Axe to Fall, out. Like, I want to listen to more, like, hardcore, like, metalcore, like, from that kind of side. So I feel like the metalcore I grew up with was very much tied to, like, I call it, you know, scene core, but I don't know if that's right, but it's, you know, A Day to Remember, like... Attack Attack, you know, Devil Wears Prada, August Burns Red, that kind of Skylit Drive, that kind of mix of, like, post-hardcore with metalcore with a hefty dose of pop in there, you know? Well, yeah, metalcore, like, I grew up with, like, kind of more the scene side of metalcore. That was the stuff that got me into screaming. Is Dark Horse another Converge album? I don't know if I know that one. Or if it's a band. But it was like so, like, the stuff that, like, my friends got me into in high school that got me introduced to screaming was so okay. Was so, like, very much pop influence. I mean, not like I guess, like, you wouldn't be able to say that about maybe like August Burns Red, some like, you know, high-pitched vocal parts of like, and poppier parts of like some Devil Wears Prada back in the day. A Day to Remember legitimately is one where at least like Homecoming and What Separates Me From You definitely were very influential on me. Like, I still love Downfall of Us All and a few other songs from that era. You know, I'm Made of Wax, Larry, what are you made of? But then I took the screamed vocals and got into BT Bam and Opeth and then into the heavier prog metal side of things rather than what my friends were listening to. I was in prog rock and I'd like listen to like Metropolis Scenes from a Memory, but I had never gotten into like, because like, yeah, from what I've read, like Converge is considered like kind of birth of metalcore, right? But like it's so much rougher around the edges than like the metalcore I've listened to, and calling it metallic hardcore because I definitely more associate it with like a hardcore stuff, right? Like it's got more of that hardcore punk edge, right? I still only have Symbolic by Death. I've never listened to any more Death. If you're talking about like the band Death, you know. I think I bought that CD when I was studying abroad in Hungary. So like in 2013. Yeah, noise rock. Like, I've listened to some stuff considered noise rock, and some of that's like, this is closer to metal, like Chat Pile. Like, I've heard that described as noise rock, and I'm like, I hear elements of, like, metal or hardcore in here. Like, how is this considered noise rock? But I guess, like, I don't know the full depths of, like, what noise rock contains. Because, like, I only have one, who did Sonic Youth? I have one Sonic Youth album, and I know that they're considered, you know, like, foundational noise rock. I have Daydream, is it Daydream Nation? Is that what it's called? And I know that that's considered, like, foundational noise rock. And, so it's like, it's one of those where it's like, when I heard, like, Chat Pile and heard it described as noise rock, I was like, huh. I mean, I would consider this heavier than what I thought noise rock could be, but, like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, musically be pretty metal. But, like, not a genre I'm very familiar with. I don't think that'll work. Okay. This has been a little bit of a scuffed lab. But it can't be too scuffed if I get through it deathless. That's the true thing. Yeah, because like a lot of Daydream Nation is kind of, some of it's talk singy, some of it's kind of just a little bit yell, but not in like a metal yell at all, or metal or like punk yell. But then like Chat Pile, that's more of a metal, like hardcore yell, scream. And some, like, talk stuff, you know? Let's concentrate now. Hope you've been having a good day, too. more like the position. I don't like the position I'm in. I'm mildly okay with the position I'm in now. Okay, yeah. That was, I think I could have gotten past that, but I made a bad decision. Unsane. I mean, I died in that section. That's the second time I've died in that time section. Insane bass tone. Depends on, like, the band. Like, some stuff just, like, allows the bass to be almost a lead instrument in that, like, I was, like, listening to some stuff. What was I listening? Where I was thinking this. It's, like, depends on some metal where, like, the bass sometimes is like a relatively clean but driven tone. Relatively clean, not too much distortion, while the guitars have a heavier distorted part. And but then you'll get some like hardcore or metal adjacent stuff where maybe it depends on how many like guitar layers there are, but like that there's a place for a more distorted, heavier placed bass tone, while the guitars kind of do their own thing and sometimes more chords and stuff, but the bass can kind of lead a more melodic part, which I really like it when they can do that, or even like when they just have their own spot in the mix, you know? Like, I was listening to that Pallbearer album where the bass seems to be mostly relatively undistorted. It's a pretty clean sounding bass, but like you got the heavier, very low guitars, but then you have the occasional, like, what would those lead guitar tones be considered? Because there's definitely a lot of like lead guitar tones on the Pallbearer album that like are interesting, but like the bass is more like kind of clean. It has some interesting melodic parts, but it's definitely not as heavily distorted as something as other ones can be, you know, depending on the subgenre, depending on the thing. It's like something I'm starting to think more about, like, because like I think about this sometimes, like God, like there are like I've conceptualized as like, oh yeah, you know, I need to get this bass to achieve this bass tone, and now I'm like I'm like listening to like some pedal demonstrations, and then they'll go to like different instruments sometime in the middle of it, but it's like, oh God. Like, I'm thinking about, like, I've seen a lot of videos where they play just a clean, like, you know, like in bass YouTube, where they're just playing more of a clean DI, where they're mostly, they might have some pedals, but it's like, it's more so just to open up the sound and not to really change the bass, pun intended, I guess, sound of the instrument too much. But it's like, when you start getting into pedals and effects, like, that can sometimes be the primary driver for the sound. I mean, one of my favorite sounds for a bass right now is like the clankier mid-tone. Where it's got a fun clank to it. Some decent mids and highs in there, you know? And obviously it like depends on like, you know, how much the high is in there to hear like a pick attack, or like if it needs more of a smoother, more fuller tone, you know, emphasize probably low mids and lows, but obviously still enough of the higher stuff for at least a little bit of character, right? I don't know how that works, but it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm thinking about what is the elements of this sound that's going into making this fit as a part of the mix, right? Because it's like, I want to mess with like a bass DI, a distortion, stuff like that, but it's like, you know, it's got to be in service of, does it fit the song, right? it'd be fun to mess with on my own and come up with like some fucked up bass tone, but it's like, is that going to work for a song, or is it just going to work for me fucking around in my room? Which, if it just works for me fucking around in my room, like, that's a goal in and of itself, but like, I'd like to find a tone that could work with people, right? Yeah, I think like if I get like the B7K, the one that like Tudos has, that would have a 4-band EQ, and it also has, I think, like, you can choose which bands for like mids and highs to like emphasize or like cut. I'd have to look at it again. It has like different attack and grunt too, of like how it wants like the highs to work and like the lows to work as well. And that's not even getting into like the actual distortion. Parametric. Where you pick like the frequency that you're bumping or cutting. Or like, what is it? Mids or highs? Okay, okay. Yeah. And now we're failing to get out of the first few levels. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe this time next week I'll have bought a pedal. I mean, I think that Tudos has convinced me that it'd be a pretty good idea for me to get like an actual DI pedal if I want to hook it directly into a board and to get the, what is it, the balanced output slot. That'd probably just be a good idea for me. I mean, God knows it means that I need to find people to actually play with, you know, but it's like, I don't know, I'm sticking with it. I mean, but that's like, that's part of who you are as a musician too. I'd at least want to, I mean, God knows I'm not as good at like looking at my bass or having or hearing a chord and knowing, ah, that's that chord. I can play, you know, okay, that's an A major chord. I can jam with these notes right around that, and then when it changes chords, like, okay, that's a B. Where's a B again on my neck, right? And that's something that like I should get my fucking head around if I'm gonna jam, right? Just to know a basic chord progression around and then be able to like find some good sympathetic notes, like, you know my basic, you know, major triad, minor triad shapes, you know, good old octaves are always good. I mean, that's if I just want to like, yeah, and that's one of those things is that like I want to work on like honing those instincts too, right? Because like, if like you bring parts, Kiara, if you're playing with other people that like could hear those parts and think of ways of playing around them and expressing upon them and like using those as like a launch pad, that could be useful for a jam, right? Like you're bringing a part, but then other people take them and use that as a suggestion and then build off of it, right? I think that would be really cool. Like, you know, a jam doesn't have to be from ground zero. It could be like, I have this idea. How can we develop on it, right? And obviously, like, if you got a songwriter that, like, has an idea for a song and wants things done a certain way, like, that's also valid, too. I mean, obviously, I'm not the fucking, like, experienced musician here. Like, Heavy and Tudos have been in more parts or more bands than I am. And, I mean, I've just done covers when I've been in a band, right? As a singer, not as an instrumental. No. We're still doing okay here. I mean, if I just get farther and farther along, recorded parts, if you add people to play. Yeah, I mean, depends, you know. I want to learn how to communicate with people via music. That's one thing I really want to do. I want to learn how to communicate. To pick up what someone is putting down on a drum part and build off of it with a bass line, or, you know, guitar part and start to build something interesting on bass that's not just maybe boring or whatever, but like that's fun and interesting and makes a fun song to listen to, you know? I want to create art collaboratively with friends. Or just with people, right? You know, obviously, like, to play with friends would be really fun, but, like, you know, I just want to play with people, you know? It's like, people are different kind of musicians, too, right? You know? I at least want to experience that at some point. Like, even me playing a little bit with, like, JC and his friend, like, just on percussion and, like, improvising a random bass line was fun, you know? Even if I had no other melodic instruments with me, that was fun. JC is cool. I don't know if I've ever seen him, like, in the shop when I've gone to, like, the Yeti around here. Like, I've seen other people, like, in the actual, like, whatever their record store is called again, Super Jumbo. I don't know if I've seen some of the people that, like, I see at, like, the booth at GDQ, but, like, you know. But it's just, like, I always like to mention GDQ, y'all are awesome, you know. And obviously they still have too many clothes that I own. Like, I did get to sing on a few songs. Song with those playing something. One of the other people was thinking, oh, I thought we were doing, like, what was it? What's that? It reminded me of 25 or 6 to 4, but someone else said it was also like a Green Day chord progression. I was just like, I knew the Chicago song more so. Anyways, lock in, lock the fucking, lock the lock. Fuck. Bullshit. I got pushed over to the left and then died because I crossed over. That's kind of a dumb. I mean, you can play multiple instruments, so that's like super fucking cool too. I mean, I guess I can sing and I can now play bass. At least I think I play bass. Do I play bass? I think I play bass. God knows I'm certainly better than I was a year and a half ago. I mean, y'all have said that I'm doing pretty good for a year and a half, so... Like, I'm happy at least when y'all say that. I want to be better, but it's like, I mean, I'm still happy to be playing music and happy to be practicing whenever I do, you know. What's up, Visor? How you doing? Oh, are you camping with family right now? Dude. I know you said you were going to be busy for part of like late July up until early August. God, it's almost August. Fucking. The year is just zooming by. I died there. Ooh. I mean, I'm still working on no death mode. This is hard. It's harder than I thought it was going to be, honestly. I mean, I've been practicing, like, you know, off stream as well, so, like... I will try and inform you when something cool happens. The problem is that, like, the coolest things that happen are, like, either a really silly, stupid death, or I'm just not dying, so... It's more that the tension is rising the longer I do not die, right? It's just I want to get this done with so I can move on to other games. Because God knows everyone wants me to play games. Knees weak, arms heavy, etc., etc. Yeah, I did have a late death. I got to the final level. I got past the Gravitron, and I died like fourth of the way through the final level in a room that's hard, in a room that is a difficult room that I do occasionally die on in speedruns. Games are cringe, and you don't need to play those. I mean, but would those games be more or less cringe than the game I'm currently playing, which I have speedrun in the past? I mean, what say you to that? Mayhap would playing other games be less cringe than playing this game, though? Sorry, July Hap? God, when are you playing when are you playing Two Worlds 2? They should have called it Three Worlds. Like, what are they doing there? God, watching you beat that game and not even realizing you had won because your cutscenes were bugged was one of the funniest things I've seen. Like, God, you were playing that, and then was it Bully before that, or was it Bully, like, after that? It was like, you were suffering. You were suffering so much in that part earlier this year. I am so looking forward. Are you gonna, I've got to say, are you going to do your same, like, video that you did last year, end of year video, just, like, reviewing all the games you played? Are you planning on doing that again? Because I loved watching that, because I was like, oh, I've watched you play so many of these, you know, as a friend who watches your stream. That was, like, a fun way to kind of you know, I do the informal but still fun Lamis, right? Which I think does work as a pretty good capstone. Yeah, you had a time this year where you played one game that you were not enjoying into another, and it was like the Vic Tortuga suffering hour. Like, I have no idea how I'm going to talk about this game, because I'm going to have to talk about V6 during the Lamis. It's not a new game, but it's certainly occupied enough time in my stream year. Well, I'll at least get to hear you talk about, Psychonauts 2. Yo, sup, Maji Bloom? What were you working on today? Hello, hello. How are you doing this fine Saturday night? Just did that, so I gotta go to the... Okay, FF14 raids? I just know that those can be really hard. I have some friends that do that. If I ever run out of games to play, I may eventually try and get into FF14. I have never really been like an MMO player. Like, probably the closest I ever got was playing Genshin a few years ago. Probably over a decade, or probably like over 5 years ago now. But like, I liked Genshin. I liked it. It was fun. It's just one of those things where like, God, I don't like gacha elements anymore, and I want to protect my wallet. Yeah, the meme about the free trial has certainly permeated, you know. And I know it's done like a lot of interesting collabs too, obviously with like Air and other stuff, and even if I don't know a lot of the FF games, I know some of the characters, I know some of the lore. I need to play more Final Fantasy games, in total honesty. Because the only one I've beaten is the Pixel Remastered, whoops, that was pretty, okay, was FF6. I got through a decent amount of the Steam version for Final Fantasy VII, but never beat it. I want to play the remakes at some point. Go. But yeah, for everyone from Maji Bloom's stream, I am Metallama. I am I guess, somewhat of a speedrunner, casual gamer, chill person. Right now, what I'm working on right now is, this is the game that I've been speedrunning recently, V6, VVVVVV, and I had been speedrunning 100%, but there's one achievement in this game that I have not achieved yet, and that is beating no death mode. It's a mode where you cannot die, or if you die, it restarts you. And especially since I've recently derusted this game, I was like, why don't I try and get the no death mode achievement? So I've been practicing and trying to get that. So we're doing that right now. That's good. Yeah. But I also play a bunch of other games. I recently been playing Clair Obscur. I just got credits in Clair Obscur, and I really want to make sure that I need to check out some of the post game and some of the other other side quests. But I did finally beat Clair Obscur a couple days ago. Additionally, I'm working on Deltarune, obviously, as probably a bunch of us all are, pending. But yeah, this has been going pretty okay. This is my second day of seriously trying to get no death mode. I've had a couple good attempts. Like, I mean, this is a hard pixel platformer game, but also, like, I have a lot of hours in this game, and I've played a decent amount trying to do the speed runs, but, you know, playing it no death mode is different. That's an incredibly stupid death. That's an incredibly stupid death. Wow. That is an awful place to die. That would classify as dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Oh, you still haven't written up your FF7 final thoughts? Oh, it do be that way sometimes. I will say that. Yeah, my friend Vic here recently finished FF7. It's one of those games where it's like, I think that, like, I don't remember a lot of the story, but it's like, obviously for, like, Final Fantasy VII, its influence continues to permeate outward. It's such a prescient game also in terms of, like, environmental concerns and stuff. I think even, like, its old 3D models still have a charm to them, too, you know? Dancing BS, huh? Oh, is there a, oh yeah, I've never actually played the Persona rhythm games. Because they are rhythm games, right? I've been playing a little bit of, Rift of the Necrodancer. Which has been fun. I want to do a cosplay of the Makoto. 3 and 5 came out at the same time. That's weird. I guess they just weren't doing it when 3 was in the zeitgeist. Yeah, Makoto is. I have complicated feelings about Persona 5. It was not a fun stream experience for me. It felt like nobody was watching me at that point in time. And also, it just was dragging on. It was my first Persona. And I felt that I had not gotten used to the Persona pace yet. For me, it's wild. I think 3 is the best of all that I've played. I did play Reload for 3, and I liked 4 Golden well enough, and then 5 was just a rough experience that I just wonder if I replay it, would I get it more? See, it's like, I had heard like, oh yeah, you're a Danganronpa fan, you'll like Persona, or stuff like that, or I had friends that were both into Persona and Danganronpa, so I thought they'd be similar experiences, but it's like, the pacing of those games is interesting. But I mean, like, I like the characters. I like, you know, some other stuff. I think for me, it was mostly like the plot for Persona 5 where it was kind of losing me. But, you know, if you like it, you like it, right? Persona 3, it was like, wait a second. Like, it still got some Persona bullshit, but like the actual like story, I think is like the best put together of all of them. Like how the themes come together, right? Like how the themes all work together in Persona 3. Like from the character stories to how the story ends up. I didn't do the extra episode, but like just as I leave it as spoiler-free as possible. Like, I finished Persona 3 earlier this year, and like, it was kind of a gut punch. It's like, whoa. Ooh, you want to get through 1 and 2? I definitely have some friends that have played through 1 and 2 as well. It'd be interesting, because I know that those are closer to SMT games, right? So I know other folks have told me about SMT that, like, those have heavier, fleshed-out battle mechanics, but they're lighter on the story and more about, like, kind of the atmosphere. And, like, for me, like, the way that the Persona games are, it's like, okay, the combat's kind of there. but it's kind of a conduit to experiencing the story is how I see it. Because, like, it's some battles, depending on, like, if you're, like, grinding some, like, might be harder than others depending on your level versus when you go into boss fights, but it's like, overall, the combat systems in the Persona games have been not too complex, IMO. But, like, I want to see the stories. You know, I like kind of the balancing of, like, the dating sim aspects, the skill trees, the doing stuff and learning about kind of the environment, doing side quests. That's, like, part of the Persona series that I do like kind of managing your days, figuring out how to find time to spend time with your friends, your classmates, the other social links. I like that kind of stuff. But it's like, for turn-based RPG combat systems, I think that they need to do something really special for it to really stand out. And I think the Persona series kind of keeps it middle of the road. It's not like the barest minimum, but I think that it's enough to carry the games. Not like carry the games, but it's enough for the games to be fine, right? Obviously, this is all my opinion, right? But yeah. But yeah, I've heard that the first Persona games are definitely different. All right. Thank you again for the raid. Get your food. And you have a good night. Really appreciate the raid. You're chillaxing. Well, as much as me trying to do no death mode and having to lock the fuck in and be relaxing. Right, we're at least getting through intermission 1 pretty okay lately. I've been getting at least intermission 1. I mean, that death in lab was one of the stupidest deaths I've ever done. Because that's like, why are you dying there? Like, how do you die there? Great vegetable. God. I'm still like, I may end up playing Persona 4 Bombus. We'll have to see. I want to play Metaphor. Metaphor may very well not happen this year, but I want to play Metaphor before I even think about sniffing at, like, Persona 4 Blablum. Good. Let the beans flow through you. Persona 365 over 4 days recoded. True! See, you say that, Vic. But, like, I like RPGs. Because, I mean, like, what? I wrapped up Persona 3 earlier this year. I've been playing Expedition 33. I'm gonna jump into Vesperia at some point. I need a little break from an RPG before I get into that, but... What am I doing? What am I doing? That was... Oh. What are we doing? Oh. I did not ever play the Elden Ring DLC. I don't know if I need to. I don't know if I want to. RPGs that'll get me over 100 hours? I mean, I don't know. I play, like, it definitely depends. Where am I going? Like over here. I still do not remember the most optimal route to get here. That was... I mean, I'm going to get to Metaphor. I'm going to. I mean, Persona 3 took me, like, over 100 hours. Persona 5, God knows my brain was blown up by it. Took me, like, 125. Vesperia, when I didn't beat it, like, over half a decade ago, took me 90, and I was doing a bunch of side quests, but I never finished it. Wish me luck. Where I died last time? Okay, that just does it automatic. I wasn't sure how it would do it. I was so nervous there. Oh, that was a little too close. Yeah, we did it! Woohoo! Let's fucking shit! And 0 deaths! Give me that achievement! Give me that achievement! Complete the game in no deaths! Woohoo! We pulled it off! We did it! Hell yeah! That is the final achievement. 0.9% of players have this achievement. Oh. That was like 1440. I can probably clip that. I'm definitely making that a YouTube video. Let me see. No death mode. I mean, KSS, she has no death mode. So that would be, I think that was 1440. I think that'll be 5th place. The current world record holder, KSS, she has 1332. But I mean, this was also an unserious run, right? I got, you know, the doing things the hard way, like the Veni Vidi Vici trinket. Like that wastes how much time? Like that's just, it's stupid to get that, right? Like that, if this wasn't meant to be a speed run, right? This wasn't meant to be a speed run. I do some silly, slower strats. Like, well, that's more very slow, but like, you know. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I like, and obviously KSS, she's a top runner. She's got a bunch of good times in the game too. And obviously this being a world record of hers is hella awesome. What? Holy fuck, it took 11 months, but I finally got the world record I wanted. I mean, it's you can't do any of like the death or R abuses. I mean, who knows if she was just working on it off and on. But like, yeah. But hell yeah, we got the achievement I wanted. I think that is now like the thing I can, like, there's a few other categories I could run in this and like just try and see like what's out there. But like, this is a game I can come back to. At this point, you know, I've de-rusted this game enough and know how to be dangerous in it again. That like if I want to even like grind offline, but like mess with stuff, I can come back to this. But like, I was thinking I want to cap this off, like get that final achievement, do it fair and square. Don't use any of the wild glitches you could do to, you know, break this. I wanted to do it fair and square. I wanted to just beat the game deathless, and honestly, that might just be it for my stream. Like, cause that's the I wanted to get that, and then I could put this game to bed, and I can start working on other stuff, you know? Game dull for 3 hours? Well, Hades 2 is incredible. I have... Oh, God. How many hours do I have in Hades 2? How many hours do I have in Hades 2? I have 173 hours in Hades 2. Like, 40 of those are early access, but I do have all the achievements. I very much enjoy Hades 2. It is also a game I have complex thoughts on, but all right. We could raid the Warm Ham Stalker. I think it'd be fun to watch. Warm Ham is a... Oh, that's you saying that, Heavy. You know who Ham is. Ham's the homie. He is working on any percent D-Rust for... There's a Super Meat Boy tournament that's happening soon. I'm gonna give him a raid. He's working on D-Rust on it, which is cool as shit. And no stream tomorrow. No stream tomorrow. It's movie night with the homies. Monday, I think, is probably gonna be an Expedition 33 stream. I'm gonna double check with Sky. I think maybe Tuesday, Thursday, maybe a Deltarune with Sky, but I'm gonna start throwing in some shorter indie games to split up some stuff, and then once I finish up Expedition 33, we're gonna work on even more stuff. So thanks for watching, everybody. Glad we got to get this achievement out of the way and put that to rest. And I do love this game. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Y'all have a good night, a good rest of your weekends, and I'll catch y'all later. Go say hi to Ham and meat.